Namaskar, welcome all of you in CYP introduction program. In a practical session, you have learned so many techniques about the every practice salient points. Today we will practice common yoga protocol together. Let us start the yoga session with prayer. Sit comfortably, any seated posture, either Padmasana, Ardha Padmasana or Sukhasana. Close your eyes, observe your body position, your back neck should be straight, align your body, your sitting position should be comfortable. Now observe your awareness on your inhalation and exhalation. Take a deep, slow and long inhale and exhale. Now take a deep inhale, we will start with the prayer. Sehna vavatu sehnau bhunaktu sahaviryam karvavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Maintain yourself for a while. Feel the prayer essence. Now gently open your eyes. Here we will start the Sukshmayam practices and loosening practices. For loosening practices, please stand up on your feet. First we will align the body. Keep it 2 inches apart, your feet. Place your hands by the side. First make sure your body should be comfortable in a standing posture. This we call the Samsthiti. Keep your chin straight. Close your eyes for a while and observe your whole body from toes to top of the head. Be there. Your shoulder position, your neck position, your arms, and observe the body weight should be on your both feet equally. Now we will start with the neck movement. Gently open your eyes and place your palms on your waist. Forward and backward neck bending. Slowly exhale and press your chin towards your chest. Don't move your body. Be there. Now with inhalation, move your chin up and look upward and feel the stretch front side of your neck region. Exhale, press your chin forward. We'll do one more time. Inhale, move your chin backward. Your movement should be according with your inhalation and exhalation. Now exhale, bring your head in the center position. Now we move on to the right and left bending. Exhale, bend the head to the right. so that the ear move as close as possible towards the right shoulder. Feel the stretch towards the left side. Inhale, come back. Exhale, opposite side without raise your shoulder up. Inhale, come back. Now we move one more time. Exhale, bend your neck towards the right side. Inhale, come back. Exhale, left side without raising your shoulder. Feel the stretch. Inhale, come back. Now we move on to the next practice, twisting left and right side. Exhale, turn the head to the right, looking sideways. Don't raise your shoulder. Again, whole focus should be on your neck region. Inhale, come back to the center position. Exhale, turn your neck towards the left side. Inhale, come back. We'll repeat one more time. Exhale towards the right side. Look sideways, keep your eyes open. Inhale, come back. Exhale, left side. Inhale, come back. Now the last practice of the neck region, neck rotation. Now slowly move your head forward. With exhalation, press your chin towards your chest. Here we will start the neck rotation. With inhalation, rotate your neck from right shoulder to backward, then towards the left shoulder, and press your chin forward with exhalation. Here we have done a half round. We will repeat to anti-clockwise. Inhale towards the left shoulder, go back, and with exhalation move your head towards the right and press your chin forward. Here we complete the one rotation. We will repeat one more time. Inhale, exhale, move your head forward, complete the neck rotation anti-clockwise. Inhale, go back, exhale, forward. Now slowly move your head in center and relax your hands by the side. Close your eyes and feel the impact of the neck practices. Just observe your neck region and feel the changes. Now we move on to the shoulder movement. First, shoulder stretch. Gently open your eyes. Keep your hands by the side. Now with inhalation, raise your both arms up. Sideways, stretch your arms upward. Keep your palms outward and keep your hands parallel to each other. Stretch. Now exhale, bring your arms back. Your movement should be along with your breathing. Inhale, raise your arms up, sideways. Keep your palms straight. Exhale, come back. Relax your body here. We will move on to the neck rotation. With inhalation, raise your arms by the side at your shoulder level. Inhale. Now turn your palms outward. Exhale, down. We will do one more time the same practice. Inhale, stretch arms up. Feel the stretch in your trunk region. Without shoulder lift, don't compress your neck. Exhale, come back. Now next practice is shoulder rotation. For the shoulder rotation, inhale, raise your arms by the side at the shoulder level. Now turn your palms upward and place your fingers on the respective shoulder. First, align your body here. Now, try to join your elbows in front of your chest. We will start here the shoulder rotation. Inhale, move your elbows from front to back. Inhale, raise your elbows up. Go back, and with exhalation, move your elbows downward and front. One more time, repeat. Inhale, feel the stretch in your thoracic region. Exhale, join your elbows in front, be there. Now we move to anti-clockwise movement. Inhale, downward, backward, exhale. Now again inhale, go back, we'll repeat one more time, exhale, front. Now be there, stretch your elbows by the side first, open your hands, now bring your arms back and relax in Samasthiti. Again close your eyes and feel the impact of the shoulder movement. Be there. Now we move on to the trunk movement. For the trunk movement, gently open your eyes first, keep your legs shoulder length apart. Now raise your both arms at the shoulder level in the front region. Keep your palms parallel and palm facing to each other. Again align your body first, observe your body weight should be equally on your both feet. Now exhale, twist your body towards the right side. In a trunk twisting you have to move your upper body. Twist. Now with inhalation come back to the center position. Exhale, twist your body towards the left side. Inhale, come back. We'll repeat one more time. Exhale towards the right side. Twist your body. Make sure your left hand close to the right shoulder. Inhale, come back. Exhale, twist your body towards the left side. You are twisting your waistline. Inhale, come back. Now exhale, bring your arms down. Here we move on to the next practice, which is not included in common yoga protocol, but you are doing here in this session. The trunk forward and the backward movement. Slightly more open your feet. Now with inhale, raise your arms in the front and stretch your body in center first. Stretch from the pelvic region. Now with inhalation, go back as much as possible, slightly go back. Now exhale, bend your body forward, stretch from the pelvic region slowly and try to place your palms in between your feet and stretch your back downward. Drop your head down. Inhale, once again raise your body up, center and then go backward. Exhale, bend forward and again try to touch your palms in between your feet and stretch your back downward as much as you can. Be there. Inhale, come up. In the center, stretch. Now with exhalation, bring your arms back. Relax your arms by the side and join your feet together. Close your eyes and feel the impact of the trunk movement. Be there. The next loosening practices is knee movement. Gently open your eyes. We'll do the practice of knee movement. Again, spread your legs at shoulder level. Inhale, raise your arms in front at the shoulder level, palm facing downward. Exhale, bend your knees and come to the half squatting position. Make sure your thighs is parallel to the ground. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend your knee and once again come to the half squatting position. Inhale, come up. Now exhale, bring your arms by the side and relax. Close your eyes and feel the impact. Be there. These practices helps to improve the micro blood circulation in our body and it gives the strength and flexibility to joint. Now we move towards the Yogasana practices. The first asana is Tadasana. Now gently open your eyes, prepare yourself for Tadasana. Keep your feet 2 inches apart. If you are not comfortable with the 2 inches, you can keep a 4 inches apart in between your feet. Now hands by the side. Inhale, raise your both arms up in front of the chest. Interlock your fingers. Exhale, turn out your wrist. Inhale, once again stretch your arms upward. Be there. First, align your body for the Tadasana. Observe from heel to the fingertips. Align. In this position, you are trying to stretch your whole spine. There's an upstretch movement. Now focus at one point. Slowly raise your heels up and balance on your toes. Maintain the position with normal breathing. Tadasana gives the firmness and the stability to the body. Now slowly bring your heels down. Release the interlock and stretch your arms first. Stretch, release, and with exhalation bring your arms by the side and relax. Relax in Samsthiti. During the relaxation, close your eyes and feel the impact of asana. Now we move towards the Vrikshasana. Vrikshasana is also a balancing posture. For the Vrikshasana, gently open your eyes first. Prepare yourself body and mentally. Focus at one point once again. Bend your right leg and place your right foot inside the left thigh. First, balance your body here. Now with inhalation, move your hands by the side and raise upward. Turn your palms and try to join your palms and stretch your body upward. Stretch, align your body here in a Vrikshasana and maintain this position with normal breathing. Just try to coordinate your body breathing. Now with exhalation, bring your arms by the side and relax your right foot down. We will repeat to the another side. Bend your left leg and place. Inhale, raise your both arms up and join your palms together in Namaskar Mudra. Stretch your whole body. This asana gives the balance and gives a neuromuscular coordination. Exhale, bring your arms down and release your left foot down. Relax, keep your eyes closed and feel the impact of Vrikshasana. Observe your body, observe your breathing after the practice of Vrikshasana. Now we move on to the next practice, Padhastasana. Those who have the severe low back pain, they will do this practice with care. Turn by the side. Now inhale, raise your both arms up and stretch your whole body from the pelvic region. With exhalation, bend forward and try to place your palms beside your feet. We will do here the final position of Padhastasana, not the modified version. And stretch your back downward, drop your head down. Make sure your whole weight on your both feet, not on towards the heel side. Slightly shift your body weight towards your toes. Drop your head down. Be there. Keep your shoulder relaxed. In a final position, try to maintain your normal breathing. Be there. Observe the sensation of your body. Observe the breathing. Now slowly with inhalation, stretch your arms forward and then stretch your whole body upward. Exhale, bring your arms by the side and relax. Padhastasana gives to the flexibility in a spinal and improves the digestion. Next we practice the Ardha Chakrasana. For the Ardha Chakrasana, you have to place your hands on your waist. Keep your thumb behind and fingers front. Now move your elbows backward and keep them parallel to each other. Now inhale, drop your head back. With exhalation, relax your body backward, bend backward as much as you can. Keep your breathing normal, feel the expansion in the chest region. Be there. In a final position, keep your elbows parallel to each other so that you can feel the expansion on your chest region. And make sure your eyes should be open in a final position. Observe your final position, your body, breathing and the sensation. With inhalation, slowly come back to the center position. Exhale, release your hands by the side and close your eyes. Feel the impact of Ardha Chakrasana. Ardha Chakrasana is a backward bending asana. It is also a counter pose of Padhastasana. So, in the Ardha Chakrasana position, we work on the lumbosacral region so that we increase the flexibility of spine. Now we move on to the Trikonasana. Turn this side. Now open your legs 3 to 4 feet apart. Yes. And keep your feet parallel to each other. Now with inhalation, raise your both arms by the side at your shoulder level. Turn your palms outward. Now we start the Trikonasana from the right side. Turn your right foot towards the right side. First we will do inhale here, inhale completely, and during exhalation bend your body towards the right side and try to place your right hand behind the right foot. Look at front first, stretch your body. Now slowly turn your head and look upward. Try to gaze your left hand middle finger. Keep your hands in a one line. Be there with normal breathing. Just try to maintain the final position of Trikonasana. Now slowly come back. We will repeat the same to the other side. First right foot in and turn your left foot out. Inhale, and exhale, bend your body towards the left side and left hand place behind the left foot. Those who are not able to place, they can hold the ankle and stretch. Turn your head, look upward, the final position. If you are not able to move your neck, then you can maintain the position with the neck straight forward. Now slowly come back. With exhalation, bring your arms down and feet together. Close your eyes, be there and watch your breathing, inhalation and exhalation. Now we move on to the sitting posture. Sit comfortably with the stretched leg forward. Sit down at your place. Stretch your leg forward, Vishramasana, legs apart, hands placed behind the body. Slightly drop your head back and relax your body in Vishramasana. This is a starting position for the sitting asanas. Now from here we move towards the Bhadrasana position. Join your feet together. Place your hands by the side of your thighs. Make sure your spine should erect. Don't raise your shoulder up, keep your shoulder relaxed. This is a Dandasana position. Now bend your knees and join your sole together. Now with exhalation, hold your toes and pull your heel towards yourself as much as you can. Now press your knees by the side as much as you can and stretch your spine upward. Maintain the final position with normal breathing. Bhadrasana is also count in a meditative posture. Close your eyes and feel impact and the essence of the Bhadrasana. Be there. Feel the stretch in your spinal region. This asana keeps the abdominal muscles healthy. Now slowly release your toes and come back to the Dandasana position. Now from here we move on to the Vajrasana position. Now bend your right knee and place your right foot beside the right hip, and similarly bend your left knee and place your left foot beside the left buttock. First upstretch your spine and make sure your hip should be in center of your both heels. You will not sit on your heels. Close your eyes. This is again a meditative posture, Vajrasana. Vajrasana is only one asana we can perform after the meal. This is very good to improve the digestion. Be there, and after adopting the final position, we have to be focused on our breathing. Now we start the Vajrasana series asana. First we will do the Ardha practice. Gently open your eyes and come on the kneeling up position. Stand on your knees and place your hands on your buttocks. Now keep your elbows parallel to each other. With inhalation, drop your head back and push your thoracic region upward, and as much as you can go backward. Maintain with the normal breathing. Feel the maximum pressure on your lumbosacral region. Your front body part is extended and your back body part, lumbar region, is completely compressed. Be there. Now with inhalation, slowly come back to kneeling up position. Relax your hands by the side. Now make a gap between your knees, slightly 4 fingers gap. From here we will move towards the Ushtrasana practice. Yes, your knees and feet should be comfortably apart, and those who cannot perform the Ushtrasana, they can again repeat the Ardhushrasana practice. With inhalation, move backward and try to place your right hand on your right heel and left hand on your left heel. First be there and slowly push your hip forward, align your body for Ushtrasana, drop your shoulder and neck backward, move your chest upward. Make sure in this position your knee to the pelvic region should perpendicular to the ground, and maintain with the normal breathing. Ushtrasana is an advance of Ardhushrasana practice. So those who have a severe problem in their lower back, they should avoid this practice. Now slowly with inhalation come back without any jerk. Come back, kneeling up position. Now sit on your heels, in between your heels, and sit in Vajrasana position. Now we will do the counter pose of the Ushtrasana, Shashakasana. Now spread your knees comfortably. Place your palms in between your knees. First inhale, upstretch your spine, and exhale, bend forward. Stretch your body downward and forward. Try to place your chest or chin, then rest your forehead to the ground. Last, try to touch forehead to the ground and rest here. This is a counter pose of Ardha Ushtrasana and Ushtrasana. Relax here. Just complete surrender your body, upper body towards the ground, and feel the relaxation in your spine. Be there with normal breathing. Now with inhalation, slowly come up. Join your knees together and come back to the Vajrasana position. Now turn this side, we will do the Uttan Mandukasana. Spread your knees widely apart, Uttan Mandukasana. Sit comfortably. Now with inhale, raise your both arms up. Stretch your whole body. Again push your pelvic region downward and stretch your cervical region and the lumbar thoracic region upward. Now cross your hands and try to place your right hand on the left shoulder and left hand on the right shoulder. Support your neck on your crossed hands and try to slightly upstretch with your spine. In a final position, close your eyes and observe your whole spine. This is the upstretch movement, and this is very good to help align our body. Be there with the normal breathing without any tension in your thoracic region. In the final position, your spine should be erect without any tension and without any arch in your lumbar region or in your thoracic region. Try to avoid any arch in your spinal region. Be there. Try to make your breathing calm. Now gently open your eyes first and stretch your arms upward with inhalation. and with exhalation bring your arms back on your knees. Join your knees together, come back to the Vajrasana position. Now once again turn by the side, we will do the Vakrasana position. Turn by the side, right side, and stretch your legs forward. Come back to the Dandasana position, hands by the side, and make sure your spine once again erect without any tension, without raising your shoulder up. Join your feet, knees together. Now we will practice here the Vakrasana. First we will do from the right side. Bend your right knee and place your right foot close to the left knee. Make sure your right foot properly placed on the ground. Now with inhalation, raise your left hand up and cross outside the right knee. And try to hold the arch of your right foot. First stretch your spine upward, and with exhalation twist your body towards the right side. Adjust your left hand and twist your body towards the right side. Drop your shoulder down and twist. In a final position, be there with normal breathing. Feel the twisting in your lumbosacral region. Again, we are working on the lower spine. And twist your neck along with the posture, Vakrasana. Now slowly come back with inhalation. Inhale, come back to the center. Relax your hands by the side and relax your right foot. Now repeat to the other side. Bend your left knee and place your left foot. Cross your right hand outside the left knee and adjust your left hand behind the body. First with inhalation stretch your spine up, and with exhalation twist your body towards the left side as much as you can. Be there in a final position. Close your eyes and try to connect with your body, breathing and the sensation. Feel the twisting in your lumbar region. In this position, you have to be focused on your lower spinal region. Other body parts should relax. Now slowly come back with inhalation. First release the posture and come back to the Dandasana position. Hands by the side. Stretch your both legs, join your feet together. Now slowly come back to the Vishramasana. Spread your legs, hands placed behind the body, and slightly drop your head back and relax your whole body in Vishramasana. We start all the sitting posture from here, Vishramasana, and we end all the posture in Vishramasana. Be there and feel the impact of all sitting asanas. Bhadrasana, Vajrasana, Ushrasana, Shashak, Uttan Manduk or Vakrasana. From here we will move on to prone lying posture. Now lie down on your abdomen. First we will again align your body, align your posture for the prone series. Stretch your arms forward, forehead touch on the ground. Join your feet together. Be there. Now slowly bend your elbows and place palm above the palm and rest your forehead or cheek. Rest and spread your legs behind and rest the body in Makarasana. Spread your legs. Keep your toes pointed outward and rest your whole body in Makarasana. In this posture, your whole front body, your shoulder, your abdomen, your thighs, your knees and your shin region, ankle completely relaxed towards the ground. This is a relaxative posture when we will perform practices in a prone line series. Now from Vakrasana we will move towards the Bhujangasana. For the Bhujangasana, join your feet together, stretch your arms forward once again, forehead touch on the ground. Now place your palms beside your chest and place your chin on the ground first. Align your body here. Prepare for the Bhujangasana. Now with inhalation, slowly raise your neck, shoulder and chest up to the navel region. Keep your elbows by the side of your waistline. Don't be raise your body on your hands. Be there. Your lower abdominal region should be in touch to the ground. Again the front body part is stretched completely and the back body part is compressed. Now with exhalation, slowly come down. Be there. Keep your hands in the same position. We will do one more time the same practice, Bhujangasana. Inhale, raise your neck and drop your shoulder down. Don't be raise your shoulder up. Your whole focus on your lumbosacral, lower back. This is very good to remove any strain from the lower back. Be there with normal breathing. Now slowly come down and relax your whole body in Makarasana. Feet apart, toes pointed outward, and close your eyes. Feel the essence of Bhujangasana. In a final relaxation position, you have to be focused on your breathing and the sensation of the body. In this position, your whole body is completely relaxed. Now we move on to the Shalabhasana. For Shalabhasana, once again join your feet together and place your palms beside your thighs. You can place your palms either downward and upward as your comfortability. Chin on the ground. Now with inhalation, raise your both legs up as much as you can without bend your knees. Raise up. Be there. Feel the tightness. Keep your knees straight. Exhale, slowly come down and relax your whole body in Makarasana. Once again, bend your elbows and spread your legs. Relax in Makarasana. Close your eyes. Feel the impact of the prone line series posture, Bhujangasana or Shalabhasana. Completely release the tension, especially from the lower back. Completely surrender and relax. Observe your breathing and with exhalation try to remove the tension from the body as well as the mind. Now from here we move on to the supine series. For the supine series, please lie down on your back, turn by the side. Lie down flat on your back. Yes. Now once again we will align our body. First, join your feet together, hands by the side. With inhalation, stretch your arms upward and stretch your toes downward. Press your toes. Be there with normal breathing. In a final position, you will not make an arch in your lower spine. Try to make sure your lower spine should relax towards the ground without any tension there. Maintain the stretching position. This is the same as the Tadasana, but here we are doing the same Tadasana position on the supine line. Be there. Keep breathing normal. Now with exhale, bring your arms by the side and relax your whole body for a moment. Spread your legs, spread your arms, palm facing upward and relax. Hold the body. Keep breathing normal. Now prepare yourself for the supine series posture. First asana is Setu Bandhasana. Join your feet together and bend your knees. Place your feet close to your buttocks and make a shoulder level gap between your knees and feet. Now hold your ankles if you can. Yes, those who cannot hold the ankles, they can place your palms on the ground. Now with inhalation, raise your buttocks up and shift your body weight towards the shoulder region. You can see here the whole body weight towards your shoulder. In a final position, maintain with the normal breathing. Setu Bandhasana. Be there and observe your inhalation and exhalation. In this position, you can feel the abdominal breathing. Now slowly come back and relax your body on your back. Stretch your leg forward, spread your legs, hands by the side and palm facing upward. Relax the whole body in this posture for a moment. Observe the changes after the practice of Setu Bandhasana. Now we will do the 3 asanas simultaneously: Uttan Padasana, Ardhalasana and the Pavan Muktasana, all together in a one flow. Join your feet together. Place your hands by the side of your thighs and maintain your body here for a while. Prepare yourself physically and mentally for the next 3 asanas all together. Now with inhalation, raise your both legs at 30-degree angle, Uttan Padasana. Now from here, slowly move your legs at 90-degree, Ardhalasana. Keep your breathing normal. While you are moving, then you can move your inhalation and exhalation movement with your breathing. But when you stop the body position, you have to make your breathing normal. Be there. This is the Ardhalasana position. From the Ardhalasana, now we come on to the Pavan Muktasana. Bend your knees and press them towards the chest region without the hand. Now interlock your fingers and press your shin towards your chest. Make a pressure on your shin region and press your knees towards the chest. Very good. Completely relax your lower back and whole spine first. Now with exhalation, raise your head up and try to touch your chin in between your knees. This is a final position of Pavan Muktasana. Make sure you are pressing your abdominal regions. So in a final position of Pavan Muktasana, try to release the lower passage. Relax the lower buttocks muscles and pelvic muscles. Now slowly drop your head down. Release the interlock. First we will go at Ardhalasana position. Stretch your legs at 90. Slowly come back to the Uttan Padasana at 30-degree. Then relax down and relax your whole body in Shavasana. Spread your legs comfortably apart. Arms by the side. Palm facing upward. Drop your shoulder down. Keep your neck in center. Keep your eyes closed and be there Once observe your whole body in Shavasana position. Completely surrender from heel to top of the head towards the ground. Be there with normal breathing. Inhale and exhale. Coordinate with inhalation and exhalation. With exhalation, try to remove the tension from the physical body part and the mental body part. Inhale and exhale. In this position, try to make your breathing deep, slow and long. Relax, hold the body in Shavasana. Observe the movement of your abdomen outward and inward with inhalation and exhalation. Now take a deep, slow and long inhale and move your awareness on your physical body part, aware with your physical body, and slowly start moving your toes and fingers. Make a right hand pillow, turn on the right side. Be there for a few seconds. Slightly bend your knees. Make sure your body should be comfortable. Now take a left hand support, come back to the sitting position. Sit comfortably. Now place your hands on your knees in a Jnana Mudra. With the closed eyes, observe your sitting position. Your spine should erect, your shoulders should relax. Here we will do the practice of Kapalabhati, Shat Kriya, Shodhan Kriya. First, prepare yourself physically. Now, observe your inhalation and exhalation. Here we will do only 2 rounds of Kapalabhati. Take a deep inhale. We will start with the 30 strokes of Kapalabhati. Inhale, start. Complete exhale and relax. Observe your inhalation and exhalation after the practice of Kapalabhati. Just be there, normal breathing. First, relax yourself before you start the second round. Now take a deep inhale, we'll start the second round, the same 30 strokes. Complete exhale and relax. Just observe your inhalation and exhalation. Feel the changes during inhale and exhale. Now we move towards the Anulom Vilom Pranayam. Again, check your body position. Align your body in a sitting position. Make a right hand Nasagra Mudra or Pranayam Mudra. Close to your nostril region. First completely exhale through the both nostril. Now close your right nostril and inhale deeply through the left nostril. Exhale through the right. Again inhale through the right completely and exhale through the left. This is a one round. Continue 4 more rounds of Anulom Vilom Pranayam. During the pranayam practice, your breathing should be deep without any sound, and try to be focused on your inhalation and exhalation along with the changes in your body as well as mind. You have to synchronize your breathing in each and every round, in every inhalation and exhalation. Pranayam gives to strength to our body. It activates our Annamaya Kosh and Pranamaya Kosh. During the practice of pranayam, we are connecting with our body, breathing and mind together. This is the last round. Inhale through the right and completely exhale through the left. After complete exhalation, now relax your right hand down and maintain yourself without the movement of your body. Here we will do the practice of dhyana. Be there. Adjust yourself with the body first. Your breathing in this position is calm and relaxed. So observe your inhalation and exhalation. Observe your sensation. Observe the thought process. Here we are trying to connect and we are trying to practice of dhyana. You know, before going to dhyana, we have to be the practice of dharana. This time we are trying to focus our mind at one point. And we are focusing at one point to cross with our physical body, with our breathing, and then contemplate at one point in a dharana. And dhyan is a spontaneous activity. Then you will focus at one point without waver of your mind. You are trying to focus at one point. after the relaxation, your whole body, control over your breathing, and the calmness in your mind. In this practice, your whole body completely relaxed. Your breathing deep, and your mind completely calm and relaxed. You're trying to connect with your inner being. It's a pure consciousness. Now move your awareness once again on your physical body, on your inhalation and exhalation. And this time for resolution, make a very simple resolution in your mind. It's related to your day activity. And recall your resolution 3 times in your mind. After the repetition of resolution, now here we will end the session with prayer. Join your palms together in Namaskar Mudra in front of your chest. Feel the touch of your palms to each other. Now take a deep inhale. We will end the session here with Shanti Path. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Now place your palms on your eyes without rubbing. Maintain yourself for a while. Feel the warmness and the darkness of your palms. Now remove your palms and open your eyes. Thank you so much.
Namaskar and good morning to everyone. Today my topic is yoga for distress and rejuvenation. It's the 12th day we have successfully conducted the CVP program. What does mean by stress, or how it affects the body? You can see first what is meant by stress. Stress is the body's response to any kind of demand, good or bad, anything which happen in the daily day-to-day life. Maybe it's in the traffic also we get tensed, or in the day-to-day life we can get stress any timings. So it may alter your state of health, in your mood and emotions, everything. It changes the whole pattern of your lifestyle. So due to that secretion of the adrenaline hormone, which secretes when you get stressed. Due to this, the adrenaline secretion is there, then cortisol also start to secrete. It helps to maintain our physiological changes normally, but if it goes over beyond the limit, then it leads to some diseases like non-communicable diseases like heart problem, or asthma, or diabetes, other stress related lifestyle disorders. Okay. So it affects mainly it affects in the first it affects the cognitive functions. Then it due to this you can't able to focus or concentrate anything. Okay. So then your attention also started deteriorating, and decision making also starts to reduce. So then your creativity also got reduced. Okay. Then signs of stress. There are few signs which shows you are under stress or you are under pressure. Okay. They are some are physical, some are emotional, and some are behavioral factors. Okay. Then physical, like if you got stress, your heartbeat will be more, that palpitation, something will happen, the racing heart and shaking, and you can't get tremor in your hands or in the legs. Then high blood pressure also raised. Sometimes someone feel clenching, some tightness, something your body started to respond further to the stress. And you can get headache, then tension, then some muscle spasm also happen. Due to the stress, the digestive secretions also changes. So it leads to indigestion or over digestion, anything can be happen. Then other emotional factors like anxiety and fear and irritable, the impatient, you can't able to focus on anything, you will be impatient and you can't stay in a place like that. Then depression, then inability to focus, and feeling overwhelmed, and guilt, some guilty feelings also happens. Okay. Then behavioral changes. So due to the hormonal changes, the change in appetite also happens. Then difficulty in sleeping because your hormone levels changes, the serotonin and melatonin, the stress, happy hormones which causes the sleep and relaxed mind also disturbed. So you cannot get the sleeping properly. And forgetfulness, you can't able to remember anything. You used to forget everything. Maybe you can started to repeat the works like OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. You have to you can check again and again the same thing like that. Then acting out, then social withdrawal. You can't able to go on the social meeting. Your interpersonal relationship also disturbed. Then increased use of caffeine and other substances. The stress people, they go towards the addiction or some drug addict or something, they started to take to reduce the stress. And loss of concentration, then mood swing. These are the emotional factors. Then these are behavioral factors. Okay. Then the physiology of stress. What are the things happen when stress is started in your body? Increased cholesterol and fatty acid in blood for energy production. Then decreased protein synthesis, the digestion will be more because of the disturbance of the gastric secretion. Immune allergic responses also happen in some people. You can see their face get redness and some irritation, some rashes starts to happen in some persons due to the secretion of the leukotrienes as cytokines. Okay. Then increased blood pressure, then increased metabolism, and localized inflammation, that is redness or some swelling, heat or some pain will happen. Faster blood clotting, then increased production of blood sugar for energy, then increased stomach acid, that gastric secretion will be more. So, if all stress are bad, it is not. Some stress are very good, some are bad. Okay. So, mainly there are very less stress also, it leads to the boredom. You can't do anything. If stress is not there, you won't fear about the future or fear about other anything. So, you will feel some bored. So, there is some certain level of stress is necessary for do all the proper actions in day to life. So, but too much stress also leads to some diseases due to increased anxiety level and anxiety secretion of cortisol and adrenals. So, there are two types of stress. One is eustress, which is called a good stress. Then distress, it is a bad one. Positive stress, the eustress helps to challenge and to adapt any situation, and it helps to grow further. The negative stress or distress, it reduce our energy level, it prevent our daily activities, and it reduce our concentration and creativity, that leads to destruction or depletion of our abilities. Okay. So, let us say some chart, the performance chart and stress level. The stress level is very low, it shows the inactive or bored. Then in some certain level of stress, you can get healthy tension, that is called healthy tension, healthy stress. Then you feel motivated and focus oriented. Then the optimum stress, you can give a peak performance, but it goes to the overload, you can get fatigue, exhaustion, then panic, anxiety, anger, then you can go for breakdown, and it is a life ending process or life threatening disease will happen. So, if you take a stress, assess why the stress has happened, how we can manage it, you can go for, get good overview, then we can get optimal concentration, you can give you a good performance. If you feel it's you can't able to estimate the stress level, you can not able to assess the stress, you can go to the life threat. So, crash, you will be get crashed. Okay. Stress is inevitable, it's everything, it's now we are not able to completely avoid the stress. Okay. So, actually stress is designed to provide set of tools and techniques to change the way the body and mind respond to stress. It is a physiological response, it's a protective response to our body. Okay. So, stress happens due to work, family, relationship, etc. The body kicks back into its fight or flight mode. So, any stress and stressful condition we can face, or we try to move from that place. Stress management can help you to identify the source of stress and emotions that send you into a downward spiral. Okay. So, we have to assess what causes the stress. Okay. And knowing that activates the stress system within the body helps you to apply the tools and techniques to elicit a more positive or even neutral response to stressors. Okay. Stress causes a depletion of immune system also due to the hormonal changes, and affect the way you think, feel and act. The flight response alters the body's natural function, it causes the release of the hormone cortisol and adrenaline, resulting in raising heartbeat and an increase in blood pressure. Under chronic stress, the body virtually shuts down the process of cell and tissue repairs. So, the serious health conditions develop in the meantime. So, we have to focus the where the stress happens, we try to reduce and manage the stress. So, we have to understand how stress works, why it happens, how it happens, then we can able to control the stress, identify stress, which are the factors causes the stress, then engage in a healthy stress management techniques, such as we can use diaphragmatic breathing, the breathing techniques we use, then basic respiration, progressive relaxation, exercise and stretching, then yoga, meditation, then other visualization and some other techniques are there to visualize the stress, which causes the stress, then how can we overcome with it, then laughter therapy. These are the things we use to manage the stress. But mainly yoga and pranayama, matlab yoga and breathing techniques act more on stress management. So, if we search for the stress good mode of management for the stress, yoga is the best. So, the healthy body depends on mainly on diet and lifestyle and the amount of stress that burdens it. So, we have to balance these factors. The diet should be also we have to focus, then the activities, physical activities also we have to focus. So, chronic the normal stress in the acute stage is very helpful for the day to day life, but it goes for the chronic stage, it leads to the life threatening diseases, okay, like high blood pressure, stroke, obesity, then heart disease, anxiety and diabetes. If the stress level remains high, some of them these conditions become more fatal. So, we have to maintain in starting period, or we have to prevent the stress factors. So, what is stress management? If we may able to manage the stress, so physical health get better, then we can get more energy and stamina, the emotion will be stabilized. So, we get positive attitude, then hopeful and happy in our life, okay. Then ability to focus are improved. So, we can perform better in any work, and job oriented or family oriented. I can get focus and very concentrated, able to learn and achieve our aim or our life goals. So, stress mainly stress response is controlled by the autonomic nervous system, okay. It has two branches, the sympathetic and parasympathetic. The sympathetic nervous system responsible for the fight or flight response, then parasympathetic is responsible for the relaxation response. So, in the stress condition we have to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. In that yoga works more mainly. So, other important one is the vagus nerve, that the 10th cranial nerve derived from the word vagabond, extends from the medulla through the diaphragm to the abdomen. It is responsible for the slowing respiration, the reduction in the heart rate. It helps to lower the blood pressure, and it stimulates the digestive activity, digestive juices and the homeostasis. Helps to maintain the gastric secretion normal. So, in that also yoga helps by controlling the parasympathetic system. The vagus nerve also controlled by the parasympathetic system. So, by practicing regular yoga, breathing techniques, meditation and other practices, we can able to stimulate the parasympathetic system. The vagus nerve will be stimulated, though. So, in the stress level, the respiration will be slowed, the heart rate will be controlled and lowering on the blood pressure. These are the activities we can get through practicing yoga. So, it is not we have to do yoga for 2-3 hours, just we can practice some pranayama techniques in between the offices also we can practice for 5 to 10 minutes or maximum 30 minutes in the daily, also help to manage the stress. Practice yoga for half an hour a day can make their body fit, then also the mind also fit. Yoga works on the both body and the mind. So, holding breathe for 4 seconds and breathe in, breathe out also more beneficial. Then other benefits is yoga helps to reduction of relaxation and focus, the cardiovascular and circulatory health improve also happens, and fitness and flexibility postures. Because of asanas we are doing the regular rhythmic contraction and relaxation. So, it helps in the whole body, it gives a massaging effect, it stimulates all the muscles up to the cellular level. So, it improves the muscle metabolism also, it also helps in the helps to make body more fit and comfort. Okay. So, what are the clinical significance? The same thing, that it reduces stress, then it causes spiritual growth. Yoga acts as it helps to normal physical and mental health also and also it helps to improve your spiritual growth also. Then it gives a sense of well-being, it reduces anxiety and muscle tensions, increase strength and flexibility, improve many medical conditions like all the stress related or lifestyle related disorders, lowers the heart rate, lowers the blood pressure, allergy and asthma symptoms are also relieved. In sometimes the yoga, regular practice of yoga helps to completely prevent the disease also. It works on the prevention as well as the cure and management also. Though, and smoke cessation, like addiction also, not only in the smoking cessation, it also helps to de-addict also, like drug abuse or alcoholic also, yoga helps to de-addict. Okay. Then it gives sound sleep. So, while practicing yoga postures, breathing and relaxation meditation, the mind awareness get improved. So, mindfulness, the attention also increased, concentration, then cognition also increased, self and social awareness also increased. So, then self regulation increased by emotion regulation, the stress regulation, the resilience and equanimity, and psychological self efficacy. Then physical fitness increased by flexibility, regular practice of asanas, causes increase in flexibility, increase in strength, increase in balance, then respiratory function, then physical efficacy. All these things leads to a behavioral state and mental state improvement by moods, other well-being, mental health well-being, health and performance, positive behavior you can get, negative behavior will be decreased, and physical health also increased, cognitive and academic performance will be more. You can get focused, very well focused and well concentrated, so you can get good output in your work. Then you can able to maintain the good personal relationship, because of you can able to focus on, you can able to communicate with each other very freely. If you are in the stress, you can't be able to communicate very freely. Then your quality of life will also be improved. So, yoga intervention causes a parasympathetic activation, which leads to reduced inflammatory cytokines, then reduced heart rate and blood pressure. Then another way, it enhances the metabolic and psychological profiles, increases insulin sensitivity, then increased glucose tolerance, improves lipid profile, improve mood and anxiety and depression. These all leads to prevention of the disease, and sometimes it helps to cure and manage the disease also. In diabetes or bronchiolitis, any lifestyle disorders, any non-communicable diseases, it helps to maintain maintain. Then the other way, it helps to reduce the stress perception, reduce the activation of sympathoadrenal system and HP axis, which leads to secretion of the stress hormones. So, and it leads to reduction in the oxidative stress and improves the endothelial function. Endothelial function in the lung and other blood circulation cells. It helps to improve the endothelial function. So, yoga practice leads to some of the research studies shows, yoga studies that asana and meditation practice have positive effect on endocrine system and the nervous system. Okay. It indicates the yoga helps to reduce the cortisol and increase serotonin and melatonin, the happy hormones, which helps to good sleep and good state of well-being, and supports the claim that regular practice of yoga assists with hormone regulation and stress reduction. It helps to decrease the sympathetic activity and increase the parasympathetic activity. So, parasympathetic activity increases the blood pressure and heart rate, respiration, everything will be under control and in the mode of harmony, in the homeostasis. Reduction in metabolic rate and oxygen consumption also increased, and the salutary effects on cognitive activity and cerebral neurophysiology also improves. So, some of the mechanisms, some research have been done. This mechanism or mechanism type, both psychological and biological mechanisms are happen while practicing yoga. One of the paper is proposed self-awareness improves, then in other paper the attitude towards the stress improve by practicing yoga. Then strengthened coping mechanism, how we can prevent, we can assess the stress easily and we can cope up with it. Then appraisal control calm. So, in study it shows the appraisal of control calm. So, we can able to maintain peace by practicing yoga and pranayama. Then spiritual well-being, then compassion, self-compassion, then in a study it shows mindful acceptance improves by practicing yoga and pranayama. So, in biological, so HP axis and SNS activation, your stress will be reduced. Autonomic in the another study, autonomic nervous system, arousal and endothelial function and release of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide also helps to control our stress and control our respiratory and circulatory systems. So, then In another side is towards inflammatory marker. Yoga and pranayama practice acts on the inflammatory and endocrine responses like cytokines level and interleukin 6, interleukin 4, 3, etc. The limbic system activity, then in other studies to immune cells gene expression also improved, then another SNS also improved. This is some research evidences which we have having what is the mechanism behind the yoga and stress. So meditation also it's a important part of the yoga. So while doing meditation, the parasympathetic state, it is more activated. The sympathetic state, the stress is a very lower level. So the parasympathetic level leads to the increased alpha waves and decreased beta waves. Beta waves cause some stress in our body. Then increased mental focus, increased cognition, then decrease in limbic system activation, then increased memory. Then body will be in a homeostasis, in the harmony and in the natural state. Then it leads to increased cardiorespiratory synchronization. But heart and cardio lungs should be properly coordinated. If anything is deteriorated, that disease will be happen. So it helps to cardiorespiratory synchronization also meditation. So decrease in heart rate, decrease in respiratory rate, and decrease in blood pressure. In the state of stress condition, these are when we practice meditation, these are the physiological changes it happens. Neutral state, the limbic system will be moderate in the neutral state, brain will be also in the neutral state. Okay. In sympathetic state, when the sympathetic activation is this in the stress level, alpha waves will be decreased, beta waves will be increased. There are all will be mental focus, cognition, limbic system and memory will be deteriorated or disturbed. Then homeostatic state will not be there. And cardiorespiratory synchronization will be 1:2, which but it's not good. 1:4 is the best. Then heart rate, the respiratory rate, blood pressure also increased. It's a benefit of how meditation helps in the stress physiological changes during the stress in our body. So yoga creates a well-being as a result of physical, emotional, mental, social and spiritual balance. The entire while entire focus is not only on the prevention but also cure and manage the disease. Okay. Yoga practices like asana, pranayama and meditation having the capability of induce a coordinated psychophysiological response which helps to prevent the stress response and which helps to improve the immune system also. The relaxation response consists of generalized reduction in both cognitive and somatic arousal as observed in the modified activity of hypothalamic pituitary axis and the autonomic nervous system. So by HP axis and the autonomic nervous system is activated, the parasympathetic will be activated, so the body will be maintained as in a homeostatic or in a normal state. The breathing practices like pranayama effectively stimulate the parasympathetic system and helps to relaxation in our body. So then it also balances the proportion of oxygen, carbon dioxide in the blood. So it leads to by extension of diaphragm, by while regularly breathing properly, the diaphragm will be more elevated, the lung capacity will be increased, so we can get more oxygen, more the carbon dioxide will be expelled from our body. So each and every cell get more oxygen, so we can get refreshed and refocused. And it also helps to improve the digestion and elimination also. Thank you.